What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel, guys. Your boy Ryan LFC back again, guys. Another top shelf video for you guys today. This video, we're going to review the Concacaf World Cup qualify. I have Canadian fans here, our United States fans here, I have a Jamaican fans here. If you are watching back on the replay, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button if you're new. Make sure you guys share your thought down in the comment section. But before we jump right into the video, I want to introduce my guests. Alex, how are you doing? Welcome, man.
Hi, nice to be here.
Ryan Anderson, how are you?
I'm doing great. Been a great day for me.
Okay. A big boss from another mother, Jamaican supporter. How are you doing?
I'm good, Ryan. I'm good. I'm really happy to be here, man.
So, how you feel about Jamaican start?
Jamaica start was not good. You know, I would have wanted at least 4 points from the 3 games that we played. I knew we were not going to get a win against Mexico, but I think that the way that they played, I think we could have gotten a point against Mexico. We did even have a couple chances as well, even after that that equalizer from Shamar Nicholson. But I think this World Cup qualifier, especially in the Mexico and Costa Rica match, everybody was kind of skeptical and critical of Shamar Nicholson and how he was going to play. And I think that, you know, with scoring the equalizer against Costa Rica and scoring that equalizer against Mexico, I think a lot of people need to really look at how Shamar Nicholson is very impactful for this Jamaica team. We thought they weren't going to play well in that climatized environment at the Azteca Stadium, and I know that Ryan and Alex can attest to this, that it's going to be difficult for Canada and the United States to play at the Azteca Stadium. It's not easy to play Mexico in that stadium. So I just think that we need to get the tactics right, and we can have a better October World Cup qualifiers. We do need at least 6 points from there.
Most definitely. But Ryan, out of anybody on this platform, you're supposed to be the happiest. Canada. A lot of people surprised how Canada approached the World Cup qualifier. 3 games, yet to lose 5 points. How you guys, how you feel? How the Canadian feel?
I feel good about the window. I wished we won either one of the Honduras or USA games because those games were there for the taking. I think we were hard done by, those both being draws. I think we could have easily won one of those games or even both. We could have easily finished this window with 7 points or 5 points, but I'll take the 5 point. I think it was a good window, a good performance. Canada was dominant. They played tough. They fought hard, and they showed exactly why I thought they have a great chance to qualify for Qatar automatically. Sitting in second as the end of the window is gone, I'll take it. I'm happy with the window. It's pretty much positive for me.
Positive. So let's go to Alex. As a US supporter, how you feel about the US performance? 5 games, 5 points, yet to lose.
I mean, we talk about the performance. There were 6 halves of soccer, and 5 of them were very, very bad. At the end of the day, 5 points from the first 3 games, with 2 of them being on the road. It's not that bad, but we won the game no one thought we were going to win, and we tied the 2 that we probably should have won. So the performances were bad, but the results at the end of the day, as I said before on my channel, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how beautiful soccer you play. Do you qualify or do you not qualify? And if you get 5 points out of 2 road games, like, that's not bad at all.
Well, on my part, Jamaica national team, we have a lot of work to do. Poor, we should defeat Costa Rica and start the campaign. But nevertheless, we get a points. Play against Mexico. I believe we should get a points. We play against Panama, and it was disaster at the office. What Jamaica need to do to qualify for this World Cup? I'm going with Ryan Anderson. What do you think Jamaica need to do? Poor start by the Jamaican national team.
For me, Tapa out. That's the first thing. For me, Tapa out. Paul Hall should have been the guy to start qualifiers. Paul Hall should have been the manager. Tapa is clueless tactically, whether he has the Gold Cup squad, level squad, or the English-based players. the way that team played, it's like they were not together. They were not in sync. They did not look great. It's like they didn't want it. Now, the Mexico game was probably the team with the worst roster, the Gold Cup style roster with all the red list problems, but they played the best. And honestly, they should have got a point out of Mexico, out of the Azteca, but they didn't. And that's what hurt them. If they would have got a point out of that game and Henry Martin didn't score the winner, Shamar Nicholson with that equalizer, and they got a point out of that, I don't think Jamaica is as mad. But the problem is the game that they played the best, they lost a point. They dropped all three. And then against Panama, you should not be losing at home. You can sometimes get away with drawing at home, especially if you get a result away, like Canada did with the USA. But when it comes to that Panama game, that was disgraceful. You have your English-based players on the pitch, and you bottle it so hard, you look like you don't even care. You let a defender score on you to open the scoring. So the question is that on Tapa? Is that on the players? Is that on the federation? I'd say everybody's at fault. Nobody gets away from that. The way they played against Panama was a shame. That was a disgrace. They sort of brought themselves back against Costa Rica. That was a great draw on the road. Again, Shamar Nicholson playing well, gets an equalizer there. But Tapa has no clue. Even with his best players, he has no clue to paper the cracks over. He doesn't. There needs to be a better manager, whether it's an English-based manager or Paul Hall, that understands this team and can bring them together. And that's what I think.
Thank you, Ryan, man. Up to a Kenny then. Know that Tapa Whitmore should leave, but we will get into that. We'll just build up the number. Once you guys join into the chat, make sure you guys share your thought down in the comment section. Big up to Fresh God, big up to Win-Win, big up to music, entertainment. Enough respect, appreciate it. Guys, make sure you smash the like button. Let's see how many likes we have on the video. Come on, guys. We have almost 16%. We have 8 like. Come on, guys. Smash the like button. But Alex, what do you think about Jamaican performance so far?
Yeah, so I only got to see 2 of the 3 games, but I think the problem here, I think one big thing is that this is pretty much a new team, right? Like, a lot of these guys are just coming into a team for the first time, and that isn't going to work. Like, I think the reason that we saw that first game was the most impressive performance is because these are a lot of the guys who were at the Gold Cup, did get that playing time together. You can't just, even if it's, you can take a very talented player and put him into a team, but that's not automatically going to make the team better until they have time together. I think they had 1 training session together, right? Something like that. So I think if this team stays together, it will improve over time, but it's just logistically a complete mess. What did they not announce their squad until 2 days before? Like, it's just a complete mess. You need to have guys like U.S. were in camp for 3 days before Jamaica even announced who was going to be at the game. So as long as there's stability and consistency, things are going to naturally get better.
Most definitely. Chris, what do you think about the Canada national team and the U.S. performance other Jamaican on the outside looking in? Tough for Jamaica, right?
Yeah, it's pretty tough. Canada will be playing at home. Well, they'll be playing away to Jamaica inside the National Stadium in October, and we're going to be playing the United States away. As Alex said, they are there as a group. They are blending as a group. And going back to Alex and Ryan said, Alex said that the US team has blended, the Jamaica team hasn't. And then also what makes it even more perplexed and more confusing is that you're playing players out of position. Reverend Morrison is not a CDM. What is he playing in that role? Daniel Johnson has played CDM 1 or 2 times for Preston North End. But Daniel Johnson, in his most effective role, is a box-to-box midfielder. He's not a CDM. So if you're playing players out of position, ultimately, you're going to have them having faults. There's going to be faults there. And we cannot afford faults against Canada, against the United States. We have to put the best of the best that we have against Canada and the United States. So let's take Canada, for example. If we have Wes Harding over on that right-hand side. Ryan, Alphonso Davies is going to destroy him on that flank. No doubt about it. Remember, when Alphonso started at Vancouver, he was a right winger, right and left winger, It was Hans Flick, I believe, or Nico Kovac that transformed him to a left back. So he still has attacking qualities, but has improved his defensive ability. So I think that we need to put our best team forward. And if we don't, and also get the team to blend together, because Mikel Antonio just won August EPL Player of the Month. 4 goals, 3 assists. If we can get this team blending, the United States will have some problems. Canada will have some problems. But the United States had a slow start. They're getting back into a rhythm somewhat. Canada the same. So I'm interested to see what they will bring, because trust me, if we get rolling, if Jamaica gets rolling with the right players, the right time, and blend the right way, then I think this is going to be an exciting World Cup qualifier and may go down to the absolute wire.
How important for Olive team in Concacaf have strength and quality, because when you look at the Jamaican team, depth, Jamaica have a lot of depth. I don't think Coach Whitmore using the depth properly.
I don't think so either.
Yeah, most definitely, because when I look at, I don't see Canada or USA have that depth like Jamaica.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
Quality-wise and paper, but it seems like the United States and the Canadian national team, they are togetherness. They have been playing for a while, and while the Jamaican team just trying to put things together and make things better. But Ryan, we have a particular playing for the Jamaican national team, and you watch MLS more than anyone of we here. Probably, I don't know. I'm just assuming. I'm a more English league fans. I don't know if Alex watch MLS. I see my Christian message. You watch MLS, Alex?
Yeah, I do.
What do you think about Jevan Brown? Do you think he should start in this Jamaica national team as someone watching week in, week out? Ryan Henderson, you can answer that. Alex can answer that. How good is Jevan Brown?
He's competing with Powell, right? It's the same for the right back?
Yeah.
Because what I've seen from him at Philadelphia has been pretty good for Powell. So I don't see why he wouldn't be starting. I don't know what you think, Ryan.
I think for me, Alvis Powell, he's a good player, but I think his age is starting to catch up to him a little bit for me.
He's young.
I would say Brown has a little bit.
I understand what he's saying, age, because he has been playing for a long time.
I was just saying, like, when it comes to pace. I think Brown has more pace.
Yeah, most definitely.
For me, Alvis Powell's more of a defensive right back. I think in CONCACAF, you need to push forward. I think when it comes to CONCACAF, when it comes to outside backs, you need them to push forward and have pace. Davies does that. Dest, you have that. I'd say you need somebody who can push forward and have pace with a finishing product. I don't think if they can play well defensively, that's great. And they should be good defensively. But I'd rather have an outside back who has pace, who plays forward better, who can have finished product. In CONCACAF, that's what you need, whether it's club or country. Look at Richie Larea. Look at Kamar Lawrence. They have pace. They can finish. They can defend, but they could also do that. For me, Brown does that better. What you need in CONCACAF. Powell is a good defender, but I think Brown's better with pace and finishing.
Yeah, I believe he should be our number one right back. Hands down. I think the pace him have going back, especially when I watch him for Vancouver. Whenever the Vancouver turn over the ball and him in the attacking third, when he's supposed to get back, he get back quick enough. That's the problem I have with Alvas Paul. When Jamaica turn over the ball inside the midfield and him going forward, it take him years to get back in position. So, Chris, what do you think about Brown? Who you think should be the right back for Jamaica?
All right. So a lot of persons don't know. I follow schoolboy football very, very, very intently. So I've been watching him from he was at Kingston College. And I know Ludlow can tell you he's a very reputable person and he can play that right back role. I think that Kasim Priestley was what prevented him from playing that proper right back role, Ryan. But going to Vancouver, I think he does have a lot of pace. And although Alvas Paul is 26, Alvas Paul has played a lot, played for Portland Timbers. He's now at Philadelphia Union playing with his Reggae Boy teammate Corey Burke. But I think, with the pace kind of quickening a little bit more in Concacaf, because it has certainly gotten faster over the years, I think that Javane Brown is better going forward, attacking wise. Although, Alvas was the one that sent that ball in for that, obviously that ricochet for Shamar Nicholson with that 1-1 with Mexico at the time. But I think just attacking wise, Javane Brown does have that. And I think with, and a lot of people don't know, when he was at Kingston College, he was somewhat of a right wing role at Kingston College. So because of that intensified his attacking ability a whole lot. But his natural position is a right back. So I think that, over time, I think Javane Brown definitely can be our number one right back. But I think that if we continue to have Theodore Whitmore as our coach, I think Alvas Paul will still be there.
I agree with you that. I agree with you on that. Whitmore will definitely play Alvas Paul all the time over him. But up to the game against Costa Rica, I was calling for Javane Brown to come on because Kemar Taxilans get down there with pace and give them a lot of problem. Why not have that same chat in the last 20 minutes of the Costa Rica team?
Yeah.
Too tired.
And I was wondering, how is it that, we're talking about the pace for Alvas Powell and, and how it has really slowed him down. Kemar Lawrence is older than Alvas Powell.
Right.
Kemar Lawrence is 28 years old. Alvas Paul is 26. But I think that the way how Kemar Lawrence plays, I think that has been the difference, and I think that it's more so Kemar Lawrence has worked on his well-rounded ability. Remember, Kemar Lawrence for quite a number of years was a shoo-in for an MLS All-Star spot. A shoo-in. Nobody could take that left back role from Kemar Lawrence. Nobody. And I think that was the reason why he went to Anderlecht in Belgium for a season and a half and then came back to the MLS because he was so good. So I think that it's the way, the style of play for Alvas Paul as opposed to Kemar Lawrence is the reason why his pace has definitely slowed down from his time at Portland and why Kemar Lawrence's pace has not diminished yet. I'd say probably the next 2 years it might, but that's why there's a difference between the two.
Yes,
I will say,
go for it.
Very refreshing to watch Kemar Lawrence actually run forward past midfield pretty much because Jefferson Soteldo at club level with Kemar Lawrence has basically just kept Kemar as a left back. And that really hurts his production this year with TFC. It's not because he's playing bad. It's because he's playing in front of a ball hog on the left. But it was refreshing to see Kemar actually push up the whole length of the pitch with Jamaica. It really was. That's what I expect out of Kemar Lawrence with TFC. So it was refreshing.
Yeah, most definitely. But one thing I want to talk about how competitive Concacaf is in this World Cup qualifier. That surprised none of you guys in this World Cup qualifier campaign. Any one of you guys can. Alex?
Which team has surprised me?
Overall, Concacaf, are you surprised it's so difficult, competitive? Are you surprised?
I mean, I think it's a lot more even than I thought it was going to be. And there were some teams which just completely exceeded expectations. Like Panama. Like, I won't lie. When I made my predictions at the beginning, I had them getting 5 points, the whole thing. And they have 5 after one window, right? Like, I think it's a lot more balanced than everyone would have thought after a couple of games. I would have thought the U.S. would have had probably 5 or 7 points. Canada maybe getting 5 I mean, that's good for them. Mexico dropping a point. Like, I think there's a bit more. It's a bit more balanced. The fact that there's a lot of teams on 2 points and a lot of teams on 5 points. There were a lot of draws.
Yep.
I think that was a bit of a surprise that it wasn't. I would have thought by now a pack would have already been emerging at the top.
When it comes to CONCACAF, we know it's competitive. Even though early on, this always seems to happen. Everybody has their favorites in World Cup qualifying. And when it comes to the Octo or Hex, whatever it is, they always have these favorites. And then there's always something that blows it up in the first window. For me, again, Panama. Panama did amazing with the last stand in this first window. They played amazing football. They played way better football than I expected them to play when I made my predictions. Alex gave them 5 points. I had them dead last with no points. I had them getting beat every game in my predictions. And I was wrong about that. Panama is fighting, and you can see that. And that's CONCACAF for you. Teams are going to fight. And sometimes when you fight, results go your way. And those results went Panama's way. They wanted it more. That's CONCACAF for you. And we should never sleep. And what I've learned or what I've realized is we should never sleep on anybody. Because any given game, a team can come up and be like, hey, we know you're the favored ones, but hey, we're in your house and we're going to take it to you. Whether that means you get a point or get 3, doesn't matter. That's CONCACAF. Somebody can come up to your yard and just say, hey, it's time for you to hold some corn. That's CONCACAF. So am I shocked? No. With my predictions, am I wrong where I was starting with? Yes. But am I really shocked? No.
Yeah. With Panama, knowing about their coach, I wasn't actually really surprised with how they're playing. You know, their coach is actually from the Netherlands, and we know the history of Netherlands and their passing game. And we talk about, Lumberg, Bergkamp, Johan Cruyff. We know that their passing game is really exceptional. You know, that tiki-taka type of style, Johan Cruyff brought it to Barcelona, and that has been their identity for decades. So I think that he implied that style, that Netherlands coach, into that Panama team, and I think that has vastly improved that Panama team. That defender, when he scored that goal against Jamaica, that first goal, that was completely out of a somewhat Virgil van Dijk type of play. Virgil van Dijk can go forward. He can make those darting runs, and he can score a goal or two with his foot, and that defender really showed it. So I think that with the implementation of that Dutch coach, that has really improved the Panama's chances of qualifying. No, I'm not surprised it's been competitive. It's always been competitive. For the last couple of World Cups, we've seen emerging a lot more 14 CONCACAF coming out of the qualifiers heading into the World Cup. So I'm not that surprised, but I think looking into that Panama team, seeing as though who is their coach, I wasn't really surprised with how they're playing. But this comes to a point, even as this first window closed, that no team can let up, not even a bit. Because even though Jamaica has just amassed 1 point from 3 games, they're just 4 points above a lot of people. Just 4. Now, if a team lose or draw 2 games, and Jamaica decides to go on a little run, maybe get 3 points from each 3 games, I'm just saying hypothetically, now Jamaica might be either in that automatic qualifying spot or maybe topping the group. So now you have to really look and be careful with how you're going about things, because that's how competitive and tightly knit it is. The first couple of games, first set of games, all teams except Jamaica and Mexico drew. All teams. So you can't count anybody out, and I'm really excited. I've always been excited with CONCACAF because it's never been easy for any team. So I'm not that surprised.
Yeah, teams walking a razor's edge as time goes on. When teams are playing in Concacaf, they walk a razor's edge. So it's that close. So agreed there.
Yeah, and somebody saying the coach is from Denmark. I mean, that European type of football is really resonating with a lot of people. So, I mean, getting somebody from Denmark, the Netherlands, Spain, Portugal, it really it's going to improve that team, because now he's coming in with a mindset saying, listen, we cannot be kicking the ball long and expecting our forwards to collect it. We need to pass the ball on the ground, make sure it's intricate, make sure it's effective, and make sure that when those passes are being placed to the feet of another player, it is something, it is a mindset, it is a narrative that we're trying to create on the pitch. You can create a story. You can create a story with the ball at your feet. And that is what Panama is doing. And I'm actually, they're the most impressive for me so far, because who knew that even though Mexico, based on the red list, they cannot have certain players in their team who knew that, they would have drawn with Mexico against Panama. Many persons thought they would have lost. Panama would have lost, but they scored first. It's kind of unfortunate that they didn't keep those 3 points, because if they did, a lot of persons would open their eyes to see what they're capable of.
Most definitely, guys. Thank you very much for your assessment, and both of you guys, country. Now, Chris, I'm coming back with you, because I think we are under a lot of pressure to start to get results quick as possible. We have Canada, we have United States, we have Honduras come next month. What Jamaica need to do to get it right, get the balance and the chemistry right to qualify for this World Cup? These 3 games is very important.
It's very important, but very difficult. Only one of those matches we have at home, and that's against Canada. We have Honduras away and we have the United States away. So it's going to be very difficult. The midfield has been our problem for a while. It has been the problem. We have not had an effective CDM. We've not had a good box-to-box midfielder. And that central attacking midfield role, sometimes it's non-existent. We've carried in Ravel Morrison, who Alex Ferguson himself has said that he is a very talented player, Ravel Morrison, because a lot of persons need to remember that this is a man that has been in the United Academy. So we know his ability. And, a man like Rooney, who knows his ability, decided to scoop him up for Derby County. So we need to be more intricate. Our midfield has to be our strong point. We have Shamar Nicholson, who is a pop-up striker. We have Corey Burt, because I'm taking the English players out of this, or the main English players, because Mikel Antonio, if this continues, Mikel Antonio and Kemar Roof may not be able to travel with us. But if they do, in that home game, we have to be very intricate against Canada. We cannot let anything through to Canada, because if we do, it's going to be very difficult for us to get a win in any of these games. But we have to get, I won't say at least 7. We have to get about 6 points. We have to get about 5 to 6 points in us to even compete for them. This is a golden generation for Jamaica. We have Leon Bailey, Mikel Antonio, Kemar Roof, who just scored today, might I add. Right? We have Shamar Nicholson, we have Tyree McGee, we have Anthony Grant, Damian Nanalo, we have Liam Moore from Reading, who got an assist today in the championship. We have Kemar Taximan Lawrence, who has been our best left back in decades. We have so much good players, young, yes, but this is our golden generation. And Tapa, if he's still there, has to pick the right 11 in the right position. If you don't, then you're going to suffer like they did against Panama. So we have to get the right players in the right position, and we have to have that fight from Jamaica, because we showed it against Costa Rica and we could have gotten 3 points but only got 1. So we need those to really get back in the race.
Yeah, we have to start quick as possible. But what are your thoughts on this, Chris? I'm coming to Alex next and Ryan. You want to add something, Ryan?
I was going to say, but do you trust Tapa to make that right decision on the 11? Does anybody trust him? Does anybody?
To be honest, coming out and saying that we should not panic is actually telling me that a lot of persons are starting to not trust him picking the right 11. If they trust him, he would not come out and say, okay, guys, don't panic, and all of that, because he would not have to tell them, because we would not have to be panicking. We could have gotten 5 points from this window. We could have. We could have drawn with Mexico. He took out Anthony Grant. We lost. Many persons thought we should have beaten Panama on paper. We didn't. We got thrashed by 3-0. And many persons think, as a matter of fact, we could have gotten 7 points from this window because persons thought that we could have beaten Costa Rica. And we could have. We've had multiple chances to beat Costa Rica. Multiple. So for you to come out and say, okay, let's not panic, guys. You're basically telling me, okay, don't panic, but panic. Because if you're sure of what you're doing, you don't have to come out and tell the fans not to panic. Because basically you're essentially telling them to panic because we are panicking. This is a very bad start for us. 1 point in 3 games is not good enough.
Most definitely. Ryan, you don't trust Tapa to lead this national team?
I don't, because he's been handed everything. He has been handed everything, and he's on the verge of squandering everything for Jamaica. He has been handed a golden generation. He has made 2 Gold Cup finals, and now they're just regressing. With the best players he's had, he's been given everything to make himself a legend, not just as a player, but a manager, and he's going to squander it. He is not fit to lead this team. Paul Hall or English-based manager would be better. They would make the right decisions. They would put the players in their right positions, but Tapa has no clue. He should get out while he's ahead as a legend, as a player for 1998. Because as a manager, he is walking on thin ice. He's walking on a razor's edge. And he's going to hurt his status, kind of like how Frank Lampard did at Chelsea.
Mm-hmm.
Tapa is on a razor's edge, and he's got to realize that this may not be for him. The pressure is breaking him. He's going to squander everything if he gets a chance to.
I mean, I look ahead for Jamaica, and I think it's not the end of the world, the first window. It was bad, of course. Last place, should have gotten more points out of that. But you look at the last 7 games on the schedule, and 5 of them are at home. And I think a lot of teams are going to take points off of each other. We saw that in the first window. We're going to see it again in the second window. Teams are taking points off each other, and I think between 2nd, 3rd place and 7th place and 8th place, it's all going to be within just a couple of points. So if Jamaica can pick up some points in the next 4 games, which are tough games, U.S. on the road, Honduras on the road, El Salvador on the road, and obviously Canada. You look at those last 7, I mean, Mexico at home, Mexico have not been very good, honestly, lately. And on the road, they haven't performed. Costa Rica at home, El Salvador at home, Honduras at home. These are all winnable games. And you look at this, you'll probably, if you can get 23, 24 points, that may be enough to qualify. So I don't think it's the end of the world. I don't think necessarily the games in October are must wins. But I do agree that a coaching change, it may be a good idea, but at the same time, you don't want to make a coaching change in the middle of a World Cup qualifying campaign. We saw how that worked for the U.S. We saw how that worked for Mexico in 2013. They did just qualify, but the coaching change did not help them. So if you are going to make a change, you have to be really careful with that.
Yeah, I think one thing, which is what I see the JFF doing, is that Paul Hall is not just going to fit into the team. He has been a part of the coaching staff for quite some time, for a few months. He's actually the assistant coach for the Jamaica Reggae Boyz. So he knows these players, knows what they're capable of. And to be honest, Tapa is not the one running the camps and running the training. It's actually Paul Hall that's doing all of that. So I think that I'm not going to say it's the end of the world after this window, but we need points on the board. We need points on the board. It's not going to be easy in the United States. It's not going to be easy in Honduras, but it's going to be very difficult if we don't get some positive results from those 3 games. It's going to be it's going to be very difficult for Jamaica to even get into that playoff spot for Concacaf if they don't get those points, started to get points. Yeah, Mexico have not been good. It's been very lackluster. I think Mexico desperately needs Raul Jimenez from Wolverhampton. They really do need him because their clinical, their strikers up front, they have not been clinical at all. They desperately need Raul Jimenez. So I think that Mexico have not been good, and I think playing them to really nip them is going to be the right time to play in Jamaica, no doubt about it. But we need to be very clinical in this in this window of the World Cup qualifiers. We cannot be lackluster, and we can't have the mindset, oh, it's not the end of the world. We have to say, listen, we got 1 point in the first window of the World Cup qualifying. We need to hit the ground running. If we can at least get a point in USA, get 3 points at home to Canada, and maybe get a point away to Honduras, then it's going to start to really build back the confidence of this team. So I think that we need to get some points on the board in this window.
Need the whole 9. We need the whole 9 because some people.
I don't know.
Some people say we're going to all right. Let's go for this voice note and come. My fan sending this, so let's go for this.
Very foolish of ourselves if we think we Jamaican would be very foolish of ourselves if we think we're going to the World Cup with this coach. We not going nowhere. I got no faith in this coach. He don't prove to me that he capable, can coach his team. We have one of the best team ever, and we're not going to the World Cup.
There we go.
Ryan, did you know that some of the most...
I'm gonna pick up. I just finished the voice note. So guys, the phone line is open. You guys can call it in. If you want to send voice note, you guys can send a voice note. My plate and here. So let's play. We finish.
He got the knowledge and the know-how to prove me wrong. We wasting 4 years with this coach. Very embarrassing. True money.
All right, that's it. You guys can pick up Chris.
I'm saying that some of the most valuable players in the Caribbean are Jamaicans. Bobby Reid, Leon Bailey. When you really look at it, for years, persons have said that Andre Blake should go to a team in Europe. I think he should have gone for quite some time. I think Andre Blake is one of the best goalkeepers in the Caribbean, bar none. I think so. And I think his reaction time is fantastic. And there's a reason why he's won 2 goalkeepers of the season for the MLS, because he's that good. I just think that Tapa's in-game tactics have been his downfall.
Just a second, caller. You can continue, Chris. Just hold on for the phone line, caller. Chris, go ahead.
I just think that Tapa's in-game tactics have been his downfall over the past 4 years. I think that when you need to add players, you don't add players. The players that you need to add, you don't add them. And the players you need to take off, he doesn't take off. I think that has been his downfall. Now, if you go back to the Mexico game, Anthony Grant came off. fine. You say that he's tired, he's not fit. That climatized environment of the Azteca does weigh on you. And I'm surprised that Corey Burke ran for the 90 minutes. But he took off Anthony Grant for Peter Lee Vassell. How does that work if you're trying to get 3 points from a counter attack, and B, defend your goal? How is it that you're going to take off Anthony Grant, who has been your best CDM, and you're going to put on Peter Lee Vassell? That's what I'm talking about. So I'm not sure that Tapa is going to be the coach that would take us to the World Cup, to be honest, because his in-game tactics have not been up to par at all.
Ryan, I know you have to run shortly, but let's go for the caller. They pick up after. You have to go now, right, Ryan?
No, 6:50.
All right. Carla, just
Central. The game starts at 8 over there, 7 here. So
okay.
I got an hour.
Okay, Carla, go ahead, Carla. Good evening, welcome. What's your name?
Anthony.
Anthony, where you calling from?
Florida.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to big up your panel, man, and big up yourself for the good work you're doing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to touch a little piece from the coach, because people don't realize something. Tafa been there for a long time, brother. The guy don't know what he's doing. And all of you guys must come together, man, and just go out there and tell them plain, man, they need to get rid of him. Because Jamaica not going to the World Cup. I'm just telling you guys straight up right now. Jamaica not going to this World Cup. So we can forget about it. If they keep Tapa there, it's a done deal. Tapa been having this team for almost 5 years, and he can't put it together. You expect him to do it now? That's never going to happen, brother.
Let me add something, Ryan.
All right, Carla. That's
All of you blogger must come together, man, and vote him out, man. They need to do something.
It's trying, but it's very hard, my brother. Trying, man.
Man, it's a shame, bro. We got the best team.
Yeah, I know
we got
that.
the best team, but Tapa don't know what we're doing. Tapa don't know what he's doing, bro.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We got the best team in the whole Concacaf right now. That little draw that he get in Costa Rica, man. Costa Rica is the weakest team.
Yeah, and their midfield is very slow too.
Yeah.
It's a good against it. Costa Rica weak.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, Carla.
Yeah, man. So,
All right. All right. Thanks for calling in, man. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, Ryan, you can pick up from that, Ryan.
For me, here's my thought. He's exactly right. Both callers are exactly right. Everybody's starting to realize that Tapa Whitmore does not have the facilities to coach this team. He cannot make correct subs. He doesn't pick the correct 11. Sometimes his hand is dealt to him to a way he can't fix it, like the red list. But most of the time, the problem isn't just him. It's also the JFF, but you can't get rid of a whole board. You can't get rid of a whole board. The coach is the one who has to go. And I would hope that the next coach is somebody who has more cojones, more balls to stand up to the board of the JFF and be like, hey, this isn't working. Tapa is sort of a puppet, and he's okay with that. Like, when he speaks, it's to protect the board. And it's sort of sad because a legend like him should not have to be the guy who's the meat shield of a board. He should not have to be the guy taking the bullets. He's not a good manager, but this is not just his fault. It's also the board's fault. But the board doesn't take any responsibility. The board, but you can't replace a board of the federation, no matter how much you speak. A GM is never going to step down. Board members are never going to step down, no matter how much you know they are a poison to your country or club. It'll never happen. So you have to change the manager. You have to. Even though there's problems everywhere, the manager is the most easily changed problem. That's why they always go first. If they're a puppet or not, they always get discarded first. Because the board wants to save their ass.
Yeah, that's true. I'm not gonna, and I'm a sports journalist, you know, so I have to be very very cognizant of what I say and what I do. But I just think that as a manager, I am allowed to tell you who I want in my squad. You don't get to tell me who should come in here or not. If I don't want Kevin Lambert or even Taximan Lawrence, Kemar Lawrence, I should be able to tell you, listen, I don't want them here. It's either you don't select them or I'm not going to start them or play them at all. I think that Tapa needs to be able, if let's just assume he's there. Let's just assume he's there. Tapa needs to say to them, listen, we don't want these players here. These are not the players that will fit into my system. I want this player to fit my system, and that's who I want to play. If you don't do that, then it's going to be problem after problem after problem after problem, and you're never going to fix it. I think that man Paul Hall, based on what is going on, it really interests me to see what he can do, because it seems like he's the guy that will stand up to the JFF and say, listen, I don't want this person to play now. Because immediately, Ryan, after coming as the assistant coach, he's the man that's running training. He's the one that's telling them what to do. He's the one that's telling them where to go in training. So I think that it interests me to see what Paul Hall would do as the head coach. I would love to see him do it. As a matter of fact, we can get all Wally Downs from Mount Pleasant. Get Wally Downs from Mount Pleasant to coach this team. Wally Downs brings out the best attacking wise. And I'm talking about the local league. You have some very good players in the local league. And Wally Downs is getting the best out of them. Ryan, remember when Jordan used to play for Jamaica, how he was very unfit? Very, very unfit. Jordan Fletcher is playing 90 minutes constantly now for Mount Pleasant. Constantly. Because of the conditioning. If you want to go even to another sport, Steph Curry had an ankle injury for quite some time. The conditioning was wrong. They got a new conditioning coach. Steph Curry is the best shooter of all time. You need to be able to get the best out of the team, and I don't think Tapa Whitmore is doing that. When you're taking out Anthony Grant to put in Peter Lee Vassell, your in-game tactics have gone off the rails. You can't. I'm serious. You can't put in Peter Lee Vassell, who is very slight on the ball. You know, he can play. Used to play for Cornwall, play for Harborview. Now, you know, he was at LAFC. You cannot be able to put a player like that for Anthony Grant. It's not going to work. Anthony Grant is taller, stronger, better on the ball in terms of shielding him, and you take that person out for Peter Lee Vassell and you concede.
Exactly. To me, Peter Lee Vassell's more of an 8 instead of a 6. He's more of a box-to-box, but he tries to push forward more. Why would you bring in an 8 who's more offensive to replace a CDM who's a complete CDM, tough on the ball, hard to get dispossessed, hard to tackle? Why would you do that? That's mind-boggling. If you're going to replace an 8, go like for like. Even if they're weaker, replace an 8 with an 8. Replace a 6 with a 6. But you're not going to do that. That makes no sense to me. I'm sure there was somebody on the bench who would fit that CDM 6 role better than Peter Lee Vassell. So why did they go there? Like, I didn't get it at the time, and I still don't get it now. He's more of an 8, and he's more of a weak 8. He's not really a tough on the ball 8. He's more of a Latif Blessing, so to speak, than a N'Golo Kante.
Right. And the thing is, you know, Ryan, one other thing that he did, he took off Alverspoil. You know, Alverspoil was hobbling a little bit. And not only did he put on Fisher, but he also put on Javane Brown.
Yeah, you got
Javane Brown, who is a right back, you know. So now you're basically turning it into a back 6, you know. That's what you basically did for the game. And you still conceded. The in-game tactics have to be better. Has to. What can you do in a game where you're attacking You're getting opportunities, but you can't get 3 points. Or what can you do in a game where the team is better than you? You finally get an equalizer, but you're trying to get that all-important point. What can you do? That separates the average coaches from the good coaches, from the great coaches, from the legendary coaches. That's what you need to do. And I don't think that Tapa is doing that. He just got his pro license, coach. Where is all of that training? The most important thing that they teach you, even as a B license or an A license coach, is what can you do during the game that can change it in your favor? What can you do? Everybody was balling out for Tyree McGee since the start of the opening, and you finally play him in the game against Costa Rica. And he's the man that turned beautifully to get by the midfielder, sent it to Kemar Lawrence, who then swung it in for Shamar Nicholson to get the equalizer against Costa Rica. And this is somebody that you were not playing for quite some time. You weren't. So that's one of the things that really is mind-boggling to me.
The next game, Davis, the next game will be in next month, the 7th. Jamaica will face United States. But I noticed that Alex kind of lost, and most of the stuff we're saying are probably listening. But Alex, as a United States fans, what are the feedback in United States? Are you guys happy? You guys get 5 points. I know United States take them football very seriously, and they are very easy to fire their manager. The manager could have win the World Cup. They are very easy to fire their manager. No matter what the manager done for them, once they're not performing well, what are the fans, the United States fans saying, and the people, the panelists in the United States? What are the people thought on the United States start after the World Cup qualify?
I think a lot of people are very conflicted, if I'll be honest, because we're coming off an amazing summer, winning 2 trophies, don't expect to win both. So Berhalter is getting a lot of credit for that. And then we drop 4 points in the first 2 games. Suddenly people are calling for Berhalter's head. So people are very reactionary. And with a very good game against Honduras, now it's just what should we think? Because 5 out of 6 halves we were horrible, right? 1 half we were really good. But we got the win in Honduras, which again we haven't done since 2009. So the feeling is kind of like we're not feeling super good, because we feel like we should have at least won one of the other 2 games. But at the same time, just we got the result we needed. So looking forward to the next 3, I think the expectation is to get at least 7, if not 9 points, because the philosophy is to win at home and draw on the road. We just dropped 2 points at home against Canada. That's not seen as a point game. That's seen as 2 points dropped. So we look at Jamaica. We see that as a must-win. Costa Rica, that should be an easy win. And then Panama away, a game we should be able to win. So I think the feeling right now is we should get 7 or 9 from the next 3 games. Yeah.
Reggae Boyz fans. Yeah, you hear what Alex just said a while ago. I want to understand how the United States take them game very seriously, and you cannot bring no look a poor result. And if it was the United States coach manage this Jamaica team, he gets sacked. Or I should say, if Tapa were manage the United States team.
Oh, him get sacked long time. Sacked long.
Oh, he would have been sacked years ago.
Yeah, years ago.
But this is what me I try to say to the Reggae Boyz supporter. Oh, we get a point against Costa Rica. We should take more positive. And listen, no, right. Alex, I want you to repeat every single thing where you just said a while ago. I'm going to put your full screen. Reggae Boyz fans, listen to this. Go ahead, Alex.
So, you want me to talk again about the same thing?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So, I mean, in 2016 even, we fired a coach because we lost our first 2 games and he was out the door. And that change didn't work in the end. But I think we did a whole lot better than we would have done if we stuck with Klinsmann. And if you just like, you need to understand sometimes that if you're okay with those results and you don't make the change quick enough, it's just never gonna get better. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I don't really know where I'm going with this because I kind of said what I said before. But yeah, you if you're not getting results, you need to make the change, but you have to be smart about it, because in 2016, I think we stuck with Klinsmann too long. I think we had him. I think coaches work for one cycle, and then if you hold on to them for too long, things are going to go wrong. I don't know what your guys' thoughts on that is.
Klinsmann, I am a German supporter, and Klinsmann is a fantastic manager, and I think him say something to the Federation, United States Federation. So listen, if you guys want to compete, you guys must send in a player overseas. They cannot settle for the MLS. And when, at the time when Klinsmann said that, the United States Federation think that was a slapping at them face. But no, look how many United States play across the world play in the big league.
Sargent, Pulisic, Sergino Dest, Zach Steffen. There are a lot. Weston McKinney. There are a lot. And he's not lying. He's not lying. Jurgen Klinsmann knows what it's like. Remember, Klinsmann is a man that knows that style of football. He knows what it takes to win. This man it's not like he was just a nonchalant person. This man was playing in the World Cup. We need to remember that. He was playing
won a World Cup
for Germany, won a World Cup. So we need to understand that he knows what it takes. He was in that German setup as a manager and a player. And when you see where the Germans were all around the world playing, then why is it that, which is what I think his name is 12-man, which is why he had that rant on ESPN. What were they doing? They only needed a point against Trinidad. They lost to Trinidad and Tobago.
Right.
So they ultimately were dismissing him for something that he was not wrong about. He was right about that. They do need it. And look how much persons now are in Europe playing. Sargent playing for Wolfsburg, Weston McKinney playing for Juventus, Sergino Dest for Barcelona, Christian Pulisic is playing for Chelsea. So I think that he was not wrong. I just think that they were not looking ahead like how he was, and that was one of the reasons why they sacked him too.
He had no tactics. He just picked players and told them, go get them. And he would change the players every game, and ultimately that didn't work when we got back to the Hex in 2016 and 17. But what I will say about the guys going to Europe, all it takes is one guy to come from the MLS and go to Europe and succeed, and that will have a huge knock-on effect. Pulisic shines at Dortmund, gets moved to Chelsea. Now all these European teams look at the American market. It happened the same thing in Serie A. Weston McKennie goes to Juve, has an amazing first season. All these Italian teams are now looking at MLS. They bring in Reynolds, Buzio, Tessman. So I feel like this can go out to really any country. If they can send someone over, European teams are going to start looking at that market, and that can have a big knock-on effect. And the same thing happened with Canada.
Davies, Buchanan, all that. So, yeah, but here's the thing. I think that managers can last longer than a cycle, depending on how the team is. If the federation is bought into the manager and the players have bought into the manager, they could be there for a long time. Like John Herdman, I expect him to be with Canada for as long as he wants, frankly. I'm not going to say most of my life because I don't know how long he wants to be with
Ryan,
Canada.
you need to send that manager to the Reggae Boyz, bro.
No.
Why?
We'll send you Chris Armis. How about that?
No.
We'll send you Chris Armis.
No,
Surely he must do a better job fish than Tapa.
No,
I
sir.
mean, Chris Armis could do a better job than Tapa, but I don't know by how much.
I don't know. But the important thing is, as well, guys, what makes USA so deadly in CONCACAF, or what will make them deadly, is the fact that not only are they getting those players, and I also forgot to mention, even though they're obviously tied together, Tyler Adams, who moved from New York Red Bull to RP Leipzig, is that yes, you can pull them from all over, but now you need to bring them together and make them work as a cohesive unit. That's important because, as Alex said previously, earlier, you can't just pull players from Europe and just put them in a team. It's not going to work. You have to now bring them in, have that cohesion, and once you have that cohesion, then that's when it will work. So you bring players that fit your system. That's the important thing. And then you bring them together and then have that cohesion. And then that's when you're starting to hit the ground running.
That's exactly why it works for Canada and the USA, because John Herdman and Greg Berhalter are very good at getting players to buy in, come over, and be cohesive. Tapa can't do that. But John Herdman and Greg Berhalter are very good at getting players to buy in and play for them and run through a wall for them. And that's why the Canada and USA are succeeding like they are with these European players and MLS players. They are succeeding because they have managers who know how to recruit these players, get them to play for the country, become cohesive, and run through a wall for the program.
How many players you guys recruit Canada?
We've gotten dual nationals from England. Daniel Jebison, I think he can pick Canada.
Where's that number level from?
Oh, Buchanan? Buchanan is from Ontario.
Buchanan's from Brampton.
Yeah.
Oh, that guy.
He's from Canada.
Though he is a U.S. citizen. But anyway.
Yeah, he chose Canada.
I mean, we look at both the U.S. and Canada, right? And for the U.S., again, getting in Musa, Dest, a lot of these guys. Like, I feel like if Jamaica, for instance, there's a lot of Jamaican English people out there who are very good players who are eligible, but they're not playing for Jamaica yet. What I'm saying here is, if Jamaica had a guy with the recruiting ability of Berhalter or Herdman, they would have had a stacked squad for years. I'm sure you'd agree with that, Ryan.
Of course, I think the manager, man. I think.
My gosh.
Chris, go ahead, Kay.
I have been. There is a guy. Persons don't understand. There is a guy that is a recruiter at Manchester United. That's a Jamaican. Persons don't know that.
Yeah.
A recruiter at in Manchester United. That's a Jamaican. And there's loads of them. Ivan Toney, Mason Greenwood, Mason Holgate, Nathan Redmond. These are players. If you want to go for persons who have played for England already, Raheem Sterling is a Jamaican-born player. When you look at Chris Smalling, could have played for us. When there's so many players, yes, Chris Smalling's grandparents are Jamaican. He could have played. Yeah, so there's so many players that could have played for us. But what is it that we're doing that will attract these players to our country? What is it that we're doing that will attract these players to play for the black, green, and gold? We're not doing that. And it's not only the coach too, but the board is not attracting these players in the right way. You know how long it took us to get Leon Bailey to play for Jamaica? It took a very long time.
And he's a homegrown. He's in Jamaica.
Homegrown Jamaican-born player. You know how long it took for us? We had over 5 meetings with Craig Butler for Jamaica to get Leon Bailey. 5 meetings. And it is very frustrating because we should not have to resort to that in order for us to get players. England doesn't need to do that. England doesn't need to do that. Netherlands don't need to do that. USA, Canada, even let's go to Concacaf. Canada, right? USA, they don't need to do that because of what the coaches have, what their main objective is, what their type of style is, what their type of play is, their in-game tactics, their personality draws these players automatically to play for the Star Spangled Banner or for the Leafies. They literally don't have to do anything because they are already convinced by the program.
Because the JFF doesn't have a long-term plan. They just don't. They don't have a long-term plan. They just want the results as they come. It's sort of easy come, easy go in a way. Canada and USA have a long-term plan. They have visions of 2026. They have visions of being a team, both teams being in the semifinals at the United World Cup, US, Canada, Mexico. They have visions of that. Jamaica has no long-term plan. And of course, Canada and USA want to succeed longer than 2026, but they want 2026 to be their coming out party, even if 2022 World Cup is great for them. If they get to Qatar, even then, even if 2022 is great for them, they really want 2026. Jamaica has no long-term plan. They're hoping that all US, Mexico, Canada get automatic qualification and they could just waltz to 2026. That's all they want. They don't care about what happens in 2022. As long as they're ready to waltz to 2026, they don't care what happens right now.
You're right, Ryan, man. You're right, because I'm saying this should be the platform for us to qualify for this World Cup. All of these players you're talking about, Chris, want to come. But come to Jamaica and just play one game, like 2 games, and don't qualify for the World Cup. This is the opportunity for kick down the door for me. More English-born player come over and play for the Reggae Boyz, qualify for this World Cup. And I think we qualify for this World Cup. It guarantees us to qualify for 2026 World Cup. But as what Ryan said, we do not have that long-term vision. We don't thinking about the future. And I'm saying it, Tariq Meggie, you need to start to play the kid more. Don't play him in 5. You don't play in 5 games and then 1 game, then you bring him back, and then the next 6 games him back. Or him going to improve. Player like Lamal Walker, we has to prepare for the future. Look at the United States. They have at least 60-man squad. They're preparing for the future. They're preparing for the World Cup in their backyard, and they prepare for Qatar. If the Jamaican football want to go forward, back-to-back World Cup would have set us away from the likes of Panama and these. They're up right there.
And ultimately, it would be something that the outsiders who qualify, who can play for Jamaica, who qualifies to play for Jamaica, would come, because they would see now that the program is something that we really would want to be invested in, and then come and play for the country. I think that is the ultimate goal. If you're really, really adamant that, listen, we have to go to Qatar in 2022. We have to qualify for the World Cup in our region in 2026. If we can do that, then it would be no problem getting persons to play for Jamaica. And I think that's also the problem. We need to have a long-term plan. Where do we go from here? Couple years later, what are we going to do? We need to have things in place, plan A straight through to Z, that we will have that, listen, if this don't work out, all right, this can be done. So I think that is one of the main reasons. That's why I said, not only is the coach at fault for his tactics and what he's not able to bring out in this team, but you have to look at the administrative board. You have to look at the administration of the Jamaica Football Federation. What are they doing to improve the setup? And they're not doing that. They're not.
I will say, though, I think that qualification this time for Jamaica would just have a huge impact in terms of recruiting players, as you mentioned, but I'll just look at it this way. 2026, there are going to be at least 7 teams from Concacaf and potentially up to 9, okay, because of the playoffs. If you can qualify for this World Cup, there's still going to be 8 months until Qatar, and you can say to a player, look, you got this World Cup, and you've got another World Cup, so you can play at least 2 World Cups, and you come play for us. If you don't qualify, it's a much tougher sell, like, oh, yeah, maybe you get one in 4 years, right? When you look at a guy like Yunus Musa, we're trying to switch him over from England, who he was in their youth teams, but you tell him, look, you come to the U.S., there's a very, very good chance you're going to be playing in a World Cup, if not 2, if not 3, right? So for a player, playing in a World Cup is the biggest draw, and if you can't offer that, they're not going to come over just to play a Gold Cup or 2. They're not going to switch over from England. Like, there's a very slim chance I'll play for England. May as well fight for it. But if you say you can play in 1 or 2 World Cups, that's a much easier sell.
Exactly.
World Cup, man. World Cup. World Cup. We have to just kiss it and say goodbye. I just take my mind off of going to the World Cup, man. I can't put my body through that stress, man.
I,
Nearly
I don't I don't make Jamaica squad stress me, I have other things to deal with. I have sports to present and sports to report on. I don't let it stress me. But you have to look at the setup. What is it that we want from these set of players? What is it that we want to achieve from these set of players? We don't want to say, okay, well, yeah, we can win a Gold Cup, maybe go to the finals or what have you. No, your ultimate goal is to play in the World Cup. That's your ultimate goal. That's the upper echelon. Remember, not every team plays in the World Cup. A lot of European teams play in the Euros. A lot of African teams play in the African Cup of Nations. I mean, a lot of South American teams play in the Copa America, and a lot of Concacaf teams play in the Gold Cup, but not a lot of teams just like that qualify for the World Cup. And I think that we are not selling ourselves properly. We are not selling ourselves properly and effectively. That's the main problem. And that's the main reason why a lot of these players like Mason Holgate, Mason Greenwood, we never switch to play for Jamaica, because Mason Greenwood, it would be better probably in his mind to fight for a spot on England squad rather than play for us. As Alex said, USA and let's say Mexico have a good chance in terms of their selling point to say, listen, we can qualify for the World Cup. Come and play for us. Persons would commit to play for the USA, Mexico, even Canada, and Honduras rather than playing for Jamaica, because we don't have a talking point or a selling point to give them for them to commit to play for us. And I think that's what the administration needs to work on. They need to have a long-term plan. What is the way going forward?
totally agree with you, my brother. Long-term plan and stop depending on short-term plan. And then when it don't work, you guys go back to local base player, one in the mixture and the blend. But Alex, I really appreciate you guys coming in and stuff. We'll just wrapped up probably next 10 minutes or so. So Alex, what do you think United States need to do to qualify for the World Cup?
I mean, I think we're on track right now. Again, if we win our home games and get some points on the road, we'll get there. And if we can just keep, I mean, obviously, there's never going to be a situation where everyone is healthy. There's never going to be a situation where everyone is available. But we have enough depth in this team that if we can just put the right players on the field and keep it simple, we don't need to overcomplicate stuff. If we can just keep it simple, we'll get enough points to qualify, hopefully before the final day, because that didn't work out too well last time where we had to leave it to the final day. So, I think qualification, it's an expectation, right? It's an expectation. If we fail to qualify this time, that would be a bigger failure than 2017, because this is the best group of players we've ever had, and that we'll have for the foreseeable future. So, if we just keep it simple, get the job done at home, get some points on the road, then we'll be in Qatar.
We think affecting this United States, very good on paper, talented team, but I think they lack a lot of experience in this team. You think that can be a problem for the United States team?
I mean, absolutely. You go down to Honduras and right away, some of these guys were making their first games on the road in Concacaf. I mean, James Sands, right? He was stumbling over the grass because it was too long, right? Like, a lot of these guys, like, we only have in the entire squad, I think, 4 or 5 players who have played in CONCACAF before this cycle. Christian Pulisic, John Brooks, DeAndre Yedlin. I think Leggett had like 1 game, right? Like, there's not a lot of experience in this team, but the talent is there. The talent, the players are there, and talent-wise, we're better than every team except for maybe Mexico. We're better than every single team, and it's not even really that close. So, once experience comes, this team's going to look a lot better. And we saw that against Honduras already. Once they had a game and a half, they started clicking. Bang, 4 goals. So, yeah.
Yeah. What Ryan, what would you say the biggest downfall if Canada don't qualify for this World Cup? You have a lot of confidence. You know what I mean? You don't have a lot of experience in your team. This is why, Chris, I'm disappointing the Reggae Boys. Out of any other team, them and Mexico, they have so much experience in their team and they look like they knew. They look like they knew the Concacaf. But what would you say be Canada don't fall if they don't qualify? Perfect start for you guys, Ryan.
I would say the experience of playing away. They never got to play away in this qualifying cycle besides going to Haiti for the first leg of the second round. They got to play at IMG Academy. They got to play in Chicago, but they never got to play away. And that's one of the big things that does scare me. San Pedro Sula, again, I have nightmares just thinking about Honduras due to 2012 and all those games. I have nightmares of Honduras. The U.S. showed it could be done, and maybe Canada could do it this time. But I'm always going to be afraid of San Pedro Sula. Panama has its own faults, or not own faults, but own situations as to what makes it hard. Jamaica, normally they make the office raucous and hard to play in. Simple as is playing away in CONCACAF besides the USA is a task. And I could see that being the downfall of Canada, especially with dropping a point to Honduras at home, even though we drew the USA and sort of got back that ground. Playing away, most of these teams could cause a problem, could cause a banana peel. And that's what scares me besides the defense. Canada's defense sometimes is a bit shaky. I could see that being a problem. Even though the offense is great and the midfield is great, sometimes the defense scares me. It just does a little bit. But honestly, going away to other stadiums and other countries is really what scares me in this qualification cycle. That's what could really hurt us in the end. It won't be the home games. But if we have horrible performances on the road and we can't even beat a team like El Salvador or Costa Rica away, that Honduras game, dropping a point at BMO Field, will come back to haunt us. It possibly can.
Too early, Ryan.
We'll see, though.
Too early. But you know that the only team that have fans in their stadium this World Cup qualifier campaign, Chris, is Jamaica national team. What the Reggae Boys need to do to start to pick up win at the office. They have Canada. That's going to be a must-win game. If they don't win that game, we're in problem. We have to start a different home. Everybody different their home. Jamaica picking up 3 at home. You know what I mean? I know Honduras will get it right. They lose against a very good United States team. What the Reggae Boys need to do to qualify? I hear a lot of problem in the English-based player. We need to get things sorted out as possible.
All right, so there are a couple things. One, there needs to be a connection between the midfield and the defense. That has been our problem for a good while, a number of years. I mean, the next obvious thing, persons are saying to get top out of the squad, which is an option as well, where you need to get somebody with experience that knows how to get the best out of their players when the going gets tough. And also, I think that we just need to be hungry about it. I think that we were hungry in that Costa Rica game. I just think we were not hungry enough, because if we were, we would have gotten 3 points. I think we played a decent enough game against Mexico at the Azteca, which I was very surprised at how we played in that game. Defensively, we were very good. We were very sound. I just think also sometimes we do have that slip up, that brain fart in defense, especially with Damian Lowe. And he's somebody that I admire a lot. He's somebody that I converse with a lot. So, Damian knows he needs to fix that. I spoke with him and he said he knows he needs to fix it. So, I think that he just needs to fix that. But I just think that the tactics and the system has to change, man. Like, the 4-2-3-1 is fine. The formation is fine, You can have a 4-2-3-1, but a certain system is very imminent. We don't have an identity. Jamaica does not have an identity. What is our identity going forward? What is our identity defending? What are we doing? Are we covering the spaces? Are we hitting them on the counter? Are we playing possession football? What are we doing? And that's the most important thing. So, that connection between the defense and the midfield, they need to have an identity, and possibly, or more than likely, we need to find a new coach.
Most definitely. My thought on the Jamaica national team, I want the English-based player and the local player come together. Embrace them, the local player, them embrace them. But Chris, I'm going to leave you on the spot right now. If Coach Theodore Whitmore watching this, come the next round, if every single Reggae Boys player to fit, I would love for you to give me a 23-man squad and a starting level. Coach Whitmore should go.
Wow. Why are you doing this to me, man? Why are you doing this to me?
Coach Whitmore watching, and he need a little bit of help, look advice.
All right. So they oh boy. Wow.
You want me to go first? You want me to go first and then you go?
All right. So you can give this the 23-man squad. I can give you a starting 11 for sure.
Give me the best level and I will pick the 23-man squad.
All right. The best 11.
Yeah.
Andre Blake for sure in goal. He's a mainstay in goal. Left back should be Kamar Taximan Lawrence. The centre backs. I think that Adrian Mariappa and Damian Nanalo is a good pairing, man. I just think they're good to me. Leon Moore can come in 1 and 2 times, but I just think that pairing between Nana and Mariappa is good, man.
They have a very good chemistry together. They
do. They know who to go forward, because you do for defensive parents, communication is key. All right, I'm gonna go forward to bring it out to defense to connect with the midfield. You stay back. I think they do have a very good chemistry and communication where that is concerned. So I do have Mariappa and Damian Lowe as the centre backs. I have Javane Brown as the right back. If we're going for a 4-2-3-1, I have Anthony Grant and Tyree McGee as those two midfielders, but I have Tyree McGee going more advanced and have Anthony Grant staying to protect that back four. For my all players fit and everything is good, I have Leon Bailey in that left midfield position. I have Mikel Antonio as that right midfield position. I have Shamar Nicholson up front as that striker, and I have Ravel Morrison as the central attacking mid.
I want the balance, Chris, bro. I want the balance.
So who are you gonna put? Corey Burke over that right midfield road and have Shamar Nicholson up front?
Jamal Lowe, Leon Bailey on the 2 flank.
So you're talking about all things considered.
Yeah, man. The chemistry I want. I don't want to change too much. We'll play the Costa Rica game. I want to just probably make 2 or 3 changes from that team. One, that continuity and that chemistry together. So
I can put Jamal Lowe as that right midfield position.
Yes, I think what Jamal Lowe have is like a striker. He peeling off Shamal Nichols, or it will be either Shamal Nichols or I think Mikel Antonio have to sit on the bench, my brother. I think he have to come off the bench and prove to the Jamaican people, yo, you deserve to wear this national color and start in this team. I think Shamal Nichols is the man right now. Score 2 goals. It's going to be very hard to play to put Shamal Nichols out of position.
Yeah, I think he needs to play bang in the center. I think that's where his most effective position is. Jamal Lowe actually had a pretty good game against was it Saudi Arabia?
Saudi United States.
Yeah, he had a very good game against the United States. I think that Jamal Lowe is pretty decent. He came on off the bench for Bournemouth today. Was a very good outfit for Swansea. And I think he can be effective for Jamaica. So I can put him as that right midfield role. You want to bring on Mikel Antonio so to ease him into that system. I think that sometimes because we have those big name players, we think that they must start all the time. I think that sometimes you have to bring them in to fit into that system. So I'd have Mikel Antonio come off the bench. I'd have when Shamar Nicholson gets tired, you see that raw dog kind of kind of attitude and that pedigree from Mikel Antonio would really bother defenders towards the end of the game and maybe get a goal. So, I'd have Mikel Antonio come off the bench, but definitely Shamar Bowser Nicholson and Jamal Lowe on that right-hand side would really do him some justice.
Yeah, that balance, that front three balance, they can interchange. Shamal can go wide, but Leon can come inside. We just need that chemistry, and I think where Junior Flemings play, that's where Jamal Lowe. I think Jamal Lowe with him finishing and arrive inside the box and know to position himself when it reached that final third. I think him have a little bit more quality and stuff. I think he come off that bench against Costa Rica. It that chance Jamal that Japanese miss. I think him bury that. But I love Andre Mariappa, but Damian Lowe and Leon Mo, they have a very good partnership. But I would keep that. I would not trouble that. Tariq McGee and Anthony Grant inside that midfield. I think that's hard working, tackling inside the midfield and creativity and give us a little bit of balance inside that midfield. Now, for me, that's 11. The player them I want to see call up, I want to see Kevin Stewart. He's supposed to fit. Unfortunately, he didn't fit to play in the come and play for us this first round.
Kevin, and he really wants to play for us too, Kevin Stewart.
Yeah, Kevin Stewart, Alvas Powell, Ethan Pinnock,
Lamar Walker.
No man, Lamar Walker. We have to have Lamar Walker around the team, but guess what now, bro? We have too many attacking players. It's very difficult to leave out Bobby Reedy. Very difficult to leave out Daniel Johnson. These are experienced Premier League players. Yeah. Why bring them come so far and to not even call them up? You understand? But that's the mindset I want to see Coach Theodore Whitmore. The vision I want to see. If I can stay in my bedroom and see it, why you can see it, Coach Theodore Whitmore. I would love to talk to these. We have to have the balance in the team, man. And I think if we have the balance and the chemistry, I think on paper, bro, I don't think no one in Concacaf is better than this Jamaican team, On paper, naturally on paper. You know what I mean? Mikel Antonio, even this guy, Andre Gray, that Coach Whitmore down.
Yeah.
Fun stuff, you know what I mean? But viewers, make sure you guys smash the like button. Chris, you have a channel?
Yes, I do actually. I do have a channel.
Where your channel? I never come across a video yet, bro.
Yeah, because all right. So
where your channel name?
My channel is just what it is on the screen. Chris the Sports Guy. That's my channel, man.
Yeah, you should
share I do live videos. I'm actually going to do one tomorrow. Today is Saturday, tomorrow is Sunday. So I want to do a review. So I'm gonna do one tomorrow. A live discussion. I would love to have Alex and Ryan on it if they're able to. But it's always
what time tomorrow?
Normally it's at 4.
Yeah, that time me asleep, bro, for night.
Yeah, I know how you stay, bro. So I do have a channel. Currently my goal is to get to 500 subscribers. So I restarted and trying to build it now. So I do have a channel. It's called Chris the Sports Guy. So persons can go and subscribe.
Yeah, make sure you guys go and subscribe. Alex is the most quieted one on the stream, but hopefully
tell people. Yeah, so my YouTube, I just recently restarted it, so it is just my name, Alex Calabrese. But you can also, if you wish, follow me on TikTok, which is where I do the most, and that's where I do my lives, which is at Calishwy. And before we wrap up, thanks for having me on, and I just want to say best of luck in your qualifying. I got this from,
man, that brings back so much memories, man.
Yeah, this is actually, my dad went to a qualifier in 1997 at Independence Park, so he got the shirt there. But yeah, I hope you guys qualify because it'd be great to have you guys back in the World Cup.
Wow, Chris, you put a smile on my face with that jersey. That bring a lot of memories, man.
Yeah, it did, man. It did. That year, man, 98. I was 3, and I still understood how big that was. I was 3 years old when we knew that we qualified in '98, and it still gave me goosebumps, and it still does to this day, which is what is so important with us. We have such a rich football culture, and we need to turn that rich football culture into results and success. So, yeah, it brings back a lot of memories. I tell you.
I need to see if I need to see if I could find that 98 shirt on Classic Football Shirts, because that would be awesome, and like that shirt would be awesome in my collection for sure.
Yeah. No, this guy, I have to adjust this guy. Bro, you say Shamar is Boza is garbage, and
Nah.
you say Tariq is garbage, bro. Like you looking some attention.
Ask him who scored against Mexico and Costa Rica.
I would love for him to ask that, bro.
Because Tariq McGee started against Costa Rica and immediately made an impact. And I think that a lot of people, Bowser is garbage, Bowser came off scoring a hat trick before this qualifying window. A hat trick. Came and scored 2 goals in 3 World Cup qualifying games. So I think that persons give him a hard time. And I think this qualifying window, he has really started to silence some doubters on how effective he can be. That's why I say he's a pop-up type of striker. He's always at the right place at the right time. And once you give him even a slimmer of a chance, he can really score. So saying that he's garbage when he is the only person that has scored for us in this qualifying window says a lot about not watching and seeing what he's doing.
Yeah, Chris. I think quality striker find himself in the right place, and people will say they're lucky the ball find him. No, nobody coach you that instinct. You cannot get that coaching instinct where you're supposed to be when the ball kick. You probably get a lot of chances and miss, but he young. He's still 23, 24. By the time him reach 26, you will see a different monster of Shaman because he will definitely get better. But Chris, you have to give me a better time to come on the channel, bro. I would love to join you, bro.
Yeah, man. No doubt. Probably it probably can be earlier where I can go straight after, but um, like I said, I just started. Persons can really look at the live after. I even had a watch party of the Euro finals as well. So I mean, like I said, I've just restarted, so you guys can subscribe and really look at the content because there's more to come. Trust me.
Yeah, man. I like the vibes, man. So I'm looking up now. Ryan, you have anything? You have anything you want to add?
Subscribe to me, Ryan Anderson, as it is on the window. Check me out, even though I know a lot of you have already probably subscribed. Check me out if you haven't. It's been an honor to be on here. I've had fun. It's been a great day, been a great show, and hopefully we get more great moments like this. So
Just subscribe, bro. Ryan, I just subscribed.
big up, big up.
Alex, I'm not seeing your name because Ryan's phone number is blocking your name. So I'm subscribed to you yet. That's why.
Ryan. Put it in the private chat.
There we go.
Yeah, you should have it right there. But I wish you guys all the best. The United States. Wish and Ryan Anderson all the best. I know Ryan Anderson is supposed to gig in him teeth right now. Him side look like them going to automatically qualify for the World Cup and left Jamaica behind. You know what I would love, Chris? I would love to see United States, Jamaica, Canada, and El Salvador. The four nation left out Costa Rica, left out
And
Panama,
Mexico.
left
Left
out
out.
bro.
No, we have a lot of work to do. I think all teams have a lot of work to do. They have rooms where they need to improve on. Canada with their away results need to improve on that. Jamaica with their connection and playing better football. The United States just need to keep their heads on their bodies and focus. But once you fix that, then I think this is going to be a very interesting and tight and exciting World Cup qualifiers. We just need to just get it together. Just think that all three nations, the United States, Canada, and Jamaica, can qualify, but they need to just fix some loose ends, and they can do that.
I listen. I don't know why. I hear a lot of rumor going around that Tapa will not call back Cameroon.
But I mean, the way he played him in the game against Panama was egregious. He played Kemar as a central attacking midfielder. Steven Gerrard
Where is him?
knows better how to play him than Tapa Whitman. I'm really curious if Tapa had watched any Rangers games last season.
Where him play? Where him play?
He's a striker for Rangers.
So where him supposed to play? Strike way down the middle?
He was playing as a central attacking midfield.
He scored today, but
Yeah, he scored today for Rangers. Rangers won 2-1 today.
Tapa really love Shamar.
But like you said, Ryan, bring them on, bring them into the system. You can't just boom drop them in a game like that. Bring them on, bring them into the system. Ensure that they transition well into the system. If you don't do that, then you're going to a lot of faults are going to be presented towards you with these teams. That's the problem that we have, and that's the problem I'm saying. Tactically, Tapa is just getting it wrong.
I was just gonna say peace, y'all.
All right. Thank you guys for watching. Viewers down in the comment section. Big up you guys self. Enough love, enough respect. See you guys soon. Thank you, Alex, for coming on.
Yeah, thank you.
So link up with you, my virgin. Enough respect and thing. I think I would love to go for the whole night, but yeah. Get a few missed call, but I'm not sure, man, if I'm going to call back. But yeah. Sports guy, appreciate you coming, my brother. We should link up and do a few more things. I need to come over on your channel, bro.
Yeah, bro, definitely. No, I actually work with an unorthodox TV station. It's actually Mellow FM has a TV station now, so I actually read sports for them. So yeah.
Mello.
Yeah.
The new radio station there?
No, Mello has been around for quite a while, but they decided that no, they wanted a TV station. So they've had it for about 4 years now, and they decided to put me on as a sports broadcaster. So that's where I'm at now.
What are some of the things that journalists can't talk about football? Like what NDC was doing and you're saying, what are some of the
So journalists has to stay unbiased. You know, when it comes to certain things, journalists have to stay unbiased. So, you know, if I come out and say, well, Tapa tactically is in epi, my idiot in a sense, if you go sit down or say any disparaging remarks, I can't do that because, you know, of course, I'm a sports journalist by trade, so I can't say anything egregious or very disparaging, say anything wrong as well, on purpose, or, you know, say anything that diminishes his character. So those are some of the things that we can't do as journalists, because at the end of the day, we still have a job to do, because you would look really embarrassing to know that you say those disparaging remarks against Tapa and then you go to interview him the next day. So I just think that those are some of the things that you can do as a sports journalist.
But me no do that still, you know. Me criticize him, but me don't call him an idiot and them stuff there. And no, I think when you call Mike an idiot and them thing that you're not critiquing, you start to get personal with him and stuff. I try my best not to get personal, but for some reason I usually interview with the player them, and me not talk on the bad about a player. I just say, yo, you never have a good game, or I don't think you're ready enough or you're good enough to represent for the national. To me, no Jamaican players, people stay, bro. But even ask them for interview again.
I mean, there are some perks to it in terms of sports journalism, man. And I thank God every day that this was the profession I chose, because my brother actually got me loving sports. He was a player in the local league, and he got me into it. And
Your brother,
he used to keep for Tivoli, Robbie Scott.
Robbie Scott. Wow.
Yeah.
Bro,
Yeah.
Robbie Scott, me rate Robbie Scott as a player in the bridge.
Yeah. Same alma mater as well. He went to St. George's College. I went to St. George's College. So it was pretty surreal to find out who he was. Normally see him in newspaper. Sometimes we carry the newspaper to prep school and show everybody say my brother there in a newspaper and up on TV and stuff. But when we finally met up, it was a surreal moment. It was when I was in grade 10.
You never live with him?
No. I live with my mom, he lives with his. So, but it was always good to see him. It's always good to see him. He's the goalkeeper coach for Tivoli now. So, whenever I do commentary or analysis work on a Tivoli game, I always speak to him. We always talk. I normally help out with my niece when it comes to like university, because one of my niece goes to university now, and actually went to the university I went to, which was UTech. So sometimes when he's having trouble or problems with UTech, he normally calls me and asks me. So it's always good to have somebody of local, quote unquote, local royalty in the football world. So yeah.
I don't know how him never get a lot of cap for Jamaica, man. Very good, man.
Yeah. He's an excellent goalkeeper. He played for the under-17 and under-18 as well. But I think I don't even want to get into that, because I don't want to say why. It was just an unfortunate thing that he couldn't play, because
Almost me nearly play for Tivoli Garden, and I chaining Ravi Scott a few times. Well, Kasai Hines and them time they have fight, and them time they play under 20 against Tivoli. A few of the players, most of the Reggae Boyz play them, I play with them and stuff, But good for know as a journalist standpoint, like certain thing I realize you cannot say, and I try my best to learn from other journalists,
Yeah, you must have your opinion in order, because sometimes when you do have the opinion and you analyze certain things, that's when you're able to ask the questions you want to ask without sounding rude. You understand?
More what the difference with you guys? What the difference with you guys criticize a local player or a Reggae Boyz player? What's the difference if we criticize them? What do you think?
I think there's more emotion when a blogger or a normal fan criticizes the Reggae Boyz. I think there's more emotion in it. How you for do this? How you for do that? How you for do this? How you for do that? You fool? How you not play this? How you not play this on Ray? Us now, we can say that the Reggae Boyz were not playing up to their usual standard. They were not upping the tempo of the game. Sometimes they made some misplaced passes. So there's a difference with why you pass this or two. There were some misplaced passes, if you understand what I said. So I can say him not good, or him not this or him not that. I can say he's not up to the standards of how he's supposed to play. So I think there's a difference.
No, man. But I'm being honest with you, bro. Me have a teacher where teach me at Excelsior. and she always call me. She probably watch a video. And when she say something wrong, she call me up and I say, yo, this is not the way you say it. Me have somebody who coach me and try. Because they really love me for me. I play Manning Cup and stuff. So stick with me right through, bro. Up to now, me a big man, she still giving me advice and stuff. But I don't know why, bro. Sometimes me know me harsh, you know. Sometimes I'm harsh, but me not get personal. But yet still, they still feel like, yo, man, I attack them personal.
Yeah, sometimes you have to. All right, you mash some can, but you're not call no foul. If you understand what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
You throw your can in a call no foul, as them normally say. And I think that that's always going to happen. You're always going to get that, where you do criticize a player, you do criticize how they play in terms of he was not playing up to par, but you always have to keep it professional. That's the most important thing. You have to keep it professional, because at the end of the day, you don't want them to say, oh, they were diminishing my character. That's not how you roll. That's not what you do. So I think that's the most important thing. You criticize their game and not them. And, you know, he was not making good runs. He was not making some defense splitting runs. He was not clinical in front of goal. Those are the things that, you know, a sports journalist can probably say in terms, as opposed to him not good, him can't kick a ball to save him life, which a lot of bloggers do. So that's the difference between bloggers and regular fans as opposed to sports journalists.
I can understand that, because I think sometimes, you know, I'm not going to say I'm a saint, but I don't think I ever come out and say, yo, I would say, yo, you're not good enough for the national team. Or I would say, yo, the team grew past you now, bro. I think you have better player there we can, you know, probably we think about that what I say a while ago. I put it in the wrong way this a while ago. Like me that say, yo.
I mean, all right, so saying that his time is up, maybe not. It can be taken both ways.
But let me tell you what I think, bro. I think these guys don't give no respect, bro. I just feel like them say, oh, these boy, vlogger boy. And sometimes they must say, yo, man, make up things to get views. Bro, nothing like that, bro. I never make up.
No. This is why I want to give a lot of people platform to do what it is they need to do. I think that it has been something that we have been plagued with over the years, and being somebody that's just half a decade into the game, you know, I realize that where a lot of times if somebody does not like you, man, if there's a player that does not like you, they do everything to debunk what you say, and sometimes it's very annoying and frustrating, but you have to take it in stride, man. I luckily have not encountered any player that don't rate me, you know, and I have talked to, well, me and Nicholas Hamilton are very good friends. Me and Messi talk already. You know, Ian Andrews and I are good friends. Donald and I are good friends.
I think you guys, they rate you guys more, because guess what? Other thing happen, you know, bro. I'm a played one of the player them, you know, and something happen, I say, yo, you know, say, many things say, adapt the player do. Someone comment it and me chat, and I say, no, me play with the player. More upset. You want to play more and stuff. And like somebody go bring false news to the brother, and then the brother come back now and attack me. I say, bro, that's not how it go, bro. Just go back and listen to what me say. Me the on the part where me I pick up for the man and say, yo, I play with him. He more frustrated and more anger that he not getting enough game time. But I'm telling you, bro, like when we find out the Reggae Boyz, that's why I don't even text them, bro. I don't even normally I have good relationship with them. But you know me I do this, bro. I know say the man them probably have me up, bro. I don't know, for some reason I know them have me up, bro. Because
and I mean, sometimes no, you do have to do your job, because at the end of the day, if they're not, if the section in terms of the sport that you're focusing on, because you know, obviously you do football based on your title and your lives. That's what you focus on. But if persons don't call out these administrations for what they're doing, how are they supposed to know that they're doing something wrong? Because if nobody calls them out and they just continue doing what they're doing, then they think that they're doing something right, if you understand what I say. So I think that you would do, it's always good to have these type of channels, and you know, these type of bloggers and journalists and stuff like that. We call them citizen journalists, because you guys are citizen journalists. And if you don't have these type of players to criticize the coaching staff, the administrative board, whether it's the president, the vice president, you know, I think that they will never know that they're doing a good job or a bad job. And I think that that's why it's very important to have sports journalists and even journalists overall, you know, whether it's politicians, whether it's sports, you know, whether it's, you know, business, finance. So I think that's why it's so important for sports journalists to really to really be there.
Nah, lie, bro. Hurt me because I know me never try for this to mash up somebody's character. Up to when
Oh
somebody
no.
channel and me I say, yo, no, I don't think they are. I always try to keep professionally, but one thing me not like, bro. You talk good
Mhm.
about them and you take out a little clip and put on Instagram, them share it.
Yeah.
What the
Yeah.
difference we talking good and when you do wrong, give them the eye and say, yo, boy, I can't criticize the team them play very well. Me do the right thing. Costa Rica game and I have nothing wrong to say. I say, yo, the man them play good. The man them have to play out in front of them. If we them lose, we have tear them apart. What me I say? Why when we as vlogger talk good thing about them share it. And if we click out something and me I say, boy, I didn't have a bad. The man them didn't even like the post.
Yeah, that's which is all right. Let me tell you.
Me know say bro, I just chew. Me know say bro. Me don't know bro. Me think them unfair bro.
I think it's a touch and go situation for me, and I think one of my favorite players on the Reggae Boys squad has to be Damian Lowe, man. You know, whenever I need an interview and I say, Damian, need an interview, you know, me and him all laugh and joke. Him say, every minute you want an interview, bro. I'm say, yeah, man, but you know, say I'm stay already. So I think that's one of the many reasons why Damian Lowe has been one of my favorite players, because he good or bad. If it's bad, I tell him and he's like, listen, him say, understand him, you have to do better. If it's good, him always say, big up, bro. Always good hearing from you and all of that. So I think that in this world called sports, you have to be prepared to take the good with the bad. As a professional athlete, you have to take, whether you're a basketball player, football player, you play in the NFL, you play golf, you play tennis, you know, you have to, you're a track and field athlete, you have to take the good with the bad, because you're not going to do good every single time. That's not going to happen. You're not going to do good every single time when you go out and box or shoot a basketball or throw a football or kick a ball. You're not going to do good every single time. So you have to take the good with the bad. And I think that's the problem. I think a lot of times these professional athletes are very thin-skinned, where the minute you say something bad about them, they rush to say this and that and the third, but you can use it as motivation. Okay, I never passed the ball quick enough, I never turn here so quick enough, maybe I can do that. Train, I never shoot the ball well enough, maybe I can go and do some shooting training. I never throw the football far enough, maybe I can do some strength training to build up some strength in my throwing arm. So I just think that's the problem with the athletes nowadays.
I forgive Shamar out of any Reggae Boys player, me and Shamar Nichols say close. And the other day, me and him talk on the phone before even the Gold Cup. I say, bro, If you go on with foolishness, me I criticize you. And the man say, yo, Ryan, I watch every video you put out, you know. Me know everything where I go on. And I say, yo, me a bridging, I open, me criticize you. You know, feel no way. And I say, yo, you do a job that build me. That make me want to do more when someone say, yo, you know, you didn't have a good game and stuff. You understand? But you have some other Reggae Boyz player. Oh my God. Bro, I big up all of the man them, brother. If them do bad, I beat them. And I'm telling you, bro, not even a post the man in my life, bro. Not even a post the man in my life. But that's okay. I'm doing my job.
Yeah, that's right.
And me know mash up nobody what I call it.
You're not stopping food none at all, man. Because at the end of the day, you know, most times when we do criticize them, it's for the national team. They're sure of getting their money from their respective clubs. So I just think that they just need to take the good with the bad and just improve every time when they play. That's how you get better as an athlete. So, you mean, it's a touch and go situation. That is why I say I'd always be a fan of Damian Nanalo. Even though his father, in terms of his mannerisms, his father was, wow, you know him Father's Day, Anandelo.
Yeah, man.
You know him Father's Day. But
I just like, but me just find it curious as a journalist,
yeah,
and an analyst. You know, like we, bro, the man them just don't respect us. And me understand when some people, yo, angry and stuff. That's why I try. If a game finish, I try for relax and don't make me emotional. Cause as soon as I start get emotional, I'm start to win him the but me, people can say, yo, I say Tapa, yo, bro. The team outgrow, you know, bro. You know, if you mean good for the country, you just walk away.
Mm-hmm.
Only somebody in a Jamaican football when me can say, they probably say, yo, I probably go overboard. Me can't admit that it's coach with me.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah. You can criticize him.
I can't admit, say, yo, sometimes I go hard pan top about I never try to disrespect him. You know, I realize the Jamaican player them and a whole brother them just thin skin. I just see. I think them skin.
And some players too. Some players overall, not just Jamaican players, but I think some players, football players overall, are thin skinned. And when you do that, you just are basically prone to persons criticizing you more. Because they're going to get under your skin, telling you that you're not good, or you can't kick a ball to save your life, or say something to criticize you. They're going to just try to get that to reel you up because that's how you are.
AFTV, I'm going to say Pierre Aubameyang on it. I watch AFTV, one of the most cruelest platform.
Oh, yeah.
You understand? No, man, you can call in, I am sure, man. You can call in the number there. Me and him just a whole lot. Yeah. What do you mean by oh? What do you mean by you want to oh with me? Alright, babe, let's go. Yeah. No, no, just a reason. Me I try to learn something from a journalist, so I know what I know for do and think forget people. You understand, baby? I'm coming, baby. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it's just
Pierre Aubameyang and Arsenal player them say yo like he had the captain and the Arsenal player them some of them vex with him because him go up on AFTV and you know him have the local vibes. The man say yo him see people call him fool and the man say yo I just the fun, I just the passion and that make him drive him more. People say yo the man for stay away from the Arsenal football club. I say him to stay away from that platform. But the man just love to be a part of the fans. I mean, I understand why Jamaican baller and athlete feel like them above criticism.
And I think they just need to have that type of mentality where not everybody is going to like you and not everybody is going to say good things 100% of the time. Even the persons that love you as a player, even the persons that rate you to the moon as a player, at some point they're going to criticize you. at some point. So I think that they just need to understand that and run with it. That is why a lot of people like Aubameyang, because I think he just has that attitude where, yeah, people are going to criticize me, but at the end of the day, I know the type of player I am. I know the type of player I can be on a good day and even an average day sometimes. So, and as I said, AFTV have some cruel people on that show. DT, at one point, Troops, lead judges, even Robbie sometimes is cruel. So
Yeah.
I think that they just take it in stride. Aubameyang takes it in stride, and he just runs with it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Definitely. Anyway, Chris, may I chat again? I'll chat something and can learn from something from me and thing.
Yeah,
But
man.
I'm going to have fun with my wife, my baby. She calling. So when that someone calling her for an hour, it's special. So.
All right, bro.
So yo, bro, really appreciate. Me have a number. Me have a keen contact with you and stuff. I am sure. Big up yourself. Camera, big up yourself. Win-win, big up yourself. Powell, big up yourself. Big up King. Fresh God, if you're still here, big up yourself. Burke, Brian, big up yourself. Big up to all of you guys in the chat. Enough respect, love, and support. Appreciate it. I will be back sometime. I don't know, but look out. Liverpool playing tomorrow. I will be back with a match review. Watch along tomorrow, so I know you guys not really tuning Liverpool stuff, but I love Liverpool stuff. If I even get 5 views, I'm still doing it. So thank you guys for watching. Appreciate it, love. See you guys soon. Peace out.
Oh, and there's them here. This is Boom Boom, aka World Boom, the Billboard selector. And me I represent for Ryan LFC to get the latest Reggae Boyz